Hey guys, welcome back. Check out this horrifying video on damages that a landlord is showing that his tenant has done.
So where's the switch? What's wrong with it?
It's not like working for some of the rooms and like the plugins.
Oh, that's
Circuit breaker.
yeah. What's wrong with that?
It's not working in some of the rooms.
Let me see which one. It's not working.
It's not working there.
All right, Kirby, the caption says, "Does this security deposit of $1,500 cover all these damages?" So this kitchen looked like it just went through, World War II. So what do you think? Can a $1,500 deposit cover this kitchen or this house? Because the state, the condition of this kitchen shows what kind of living conditions the tenants are comfortable in living in. So I imagine the rest of the house is this way.
The $1,500 deposit won't touch fixing that thing back up to par, much less better. $1,500, that's what it's gonna take just to get rid of the roaches. That's what the
Yeah.
$1,500 is gonna go to. But I love these type videos because it brings the reality of being investing in real estate, investing in rental real estate. That is the realities of it. And before I go too deep into what I really want to say, Alex, what do you think about the video before I just jump off a cliff with it?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna cover it. I mean, just to give one experience, I've only ever had so far. I mean, I know I'm gonna have to more in the future, but so far I've only had to turn over one unit. And to be quite honest, the tenant left it pretty decent. I mean, she tried to clean up, but I still had to send someone out there to clean. And then you uncover all kinds of stuff. I mean, who knows what the state of the plumbing is? I mean, for example, when I went to turn over the unit, the cleaning lady had found a weed bag stuffed down the drain. So like it's like you don't know what these tenants are doing. I mean, if the tenant is in this video is okay with living like this, then I can only imagine that they're throwing all kinds of crap down the drains, especially if they have kids. So there's going to be so many further issues that you just can't see at hand. And then once you start digging deeper, you're going to find more and more issues. And turning over that unit that was in pretty decent condition still cost me um I would say in total with everything, because there's so many different fees into like, finding a cleaning person and then, um, paying someone to run by and check the unit, like all kinds of different things. Like it added up to a few $100s. And then plus, once you get property management to then get a new tenant in, they charge you their fee for finding the tenant. So it's like all that stuff, you've got to account for all that. So at the end of the day, like even though the unit I turned over was decent, it still cost me like the entire security deposit of it was like $725. And I think plus some. So and that was on a decently left unit. So this, you know, you might have to dispose of a body or something because that unit was destroyed. So I mean, I think this is gonna cost them a lot more than the security deposit.
Yeah, when I first saw the video, I said, throw the whole house away. Just throw the whole house away. Let's just start over. Just nuke the whole house. But and the truth of it is, everybody see how the tenant is living. I blame the landlord. That's who I blame because that house didn't get in that condition overnight. So that wasn't a 1 month's worth of ugliness. That was time. That's 6, 8, 12 months worth of ugliness going on in that house. So my question to the landlord, what the hell was you doing in that whole time? Was you just happy with maybe if it was Section 8, just collecting the Section 8 check and just leaving the property to let people do what they want to do? Understand, people Renters will not take care of your home better than you will. Like I have a lot of units and I can count maybe 4 tenants that take care of a home like they have pride in it, like it's theirs. 4. The rest is somebody else's problem. But to the landlord, I ask, where the hell have you been? To the if you just a property manager, where the hell have they been? Because again, this is not a one night thing. This didn't all those roaches didn't show up, yesterday right before you showed up. Those walls wasn't dirty, last week. This is over time. So what happens to the 6 month inspection? If you the landlord is managing the property and then you still coming over there for rent or you coming over there to repairs or doing repairs, you didn't look around the house to see what was going on before? You didn't call this stuff out before? Like, hey, we can't have the property looking like this. When you set up your lease agreement and you set your expectation for the tenant, are you are you even holding them to that expectation? Are you holding them to the standard? But what happens is most landlords, most of them, mom and pops, they have a property, they're working a 9 to 5, they got their family, they're doing that, they're just happy with the paycheck. They're not worried about the asset themselves, so as long as they pay me, I'm good. And then could it be some tenants that can get away with this? Yeah, but especially if you're an owner op and you're there and you let your tenants get it to this condition, and I don't know how it was before they moved in, but let's just say that it was in good condition. If you let it get to this condition, it's shame on you. I have removed tenants because they was too hard on the property. I just would not remove them like, hey, you got to get out. It was okay. We're not renewing your lease. I have talked to tenants and say, hey, look, in the lease it says this is the standard. You're not meeting this standard. To give them a chance to fix themselves. But if they don't fix themselves, then okay, you cannot renew. You have to go. But this looked like years of neglect by the property owner, by the tenants, by the landlord, property managers, whoever. It's just neglect all around. But then he want to go on social media and then 100% blame the tenant. No, it's your fault too. He or she, I don't know who posted the video, but it's your fault too. Understand that it's your job as the landlord or as the property owner to protect the asset. Just doing, oh, I got somebody with a Section 8 voucher, or I got somebody who could pay, just as long as they pay me, I'm just going to look the other way. No. The reason why the word slumlord is out there is because it's a lot more slumlords out there than it is good landlords. I mean, I can show you text right now where I talk to my tenants. I mean, when I first started this whole rental process, I was managing myself, I would only allow my tenants to pay me. I had to go pick up the check. When I pick up the check, I ain't gonna lie, I'm over there looking over their shoulder, seeing how they keep into place. When I come to do a repair, I'm looking around to see what they're doing. And if I see something out of sorts like damage to the physical property, or if I see, let's say, roaches or something like that, I'm pointing it out. I'm not sitting there just like, oh, I don't see that. I'm Ray Charles. I can't see nothing. Just give me my money or let me go fix this and let me get the hell out of there. But I don't care if they have, their clothes thrown around. That's their personal stuff. But you can't just sit there just because you paying me a check. That don't give you a free pass just to damage the asset itself. Because the asset itself costs way more than this rent check that you're paying. And I did that for 2 years before, then I had property management in other places. But the properties that I manage, I physically went there. I physically looked and seen. I physically held them to account. And then the first 2 properties that I managed, I still have those same tenants. Now I know how they keep the property. So now, of course, they can pay me ACH or something like that. But I'm not just sitting there blindly, just like, oh yeah, whatever. All the property managers that I have, hey, you have to do a 6-month checkup on the property to make sure the tenants are doing what they need to do as far as upkeeping the property. What they do their own stuff, I don't care. But the physical property itself, I do care about. So those are some of the things that I noticed, but I 100% or 98% blame the landlord, or if he has property manager, he or she has property management, I blame them for letting it get to that space, because this is not an overnight event. This is months and even years of neglect to get to that level of grossness.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, because especially like when you sign a lease, I mean, it's in the contract that the landlord is, or it should be in the contract anyway, that the landlord is able to go by and check on the property and do an inspection. So if it gets to this state, I mean, yeah, this has to be a lot of time of just like, because this is a living condition. Like these tenants are comfortable living this way, and it accumulates over time. It doesn't just, like you say, come and happen overnight. So, I mean, especially if you have property management, and if they're not doing their job of checking, then, fire them. I mean, because they allowed this property, depending on who's managing it. I'm just saying if a property manager was in place of this property, then they allowed it to get to this point. So, and like you said, I mean, the security deposit is not going to cover it, and the damages that were caused and the cost of the damages, I mean, it's a year's worth of rent is probably still not going to cover all the damage that is done in this property. He's probably going to be cash flow negative on the whole year of having to clean up this whole thing because it's going to be a lot. I mean, it's going to be cleaning, it's going to be pest control, it's going to be repairing. I mean, appliances were damaged as they showed in the video. So you got to get new appliances. I mean, so all that stuff is going to add up. And if this is just a single unit, I mean, we both know that you're probably cash flowing 300-400 bucks. So, replacing the stove, that's, a month's worth. Replacing the fridge, that's another month's worth. Cleaning, that's another month's worth. So you're just losing all your cash flow for the whole year. So yeah, I mean, shame on whoever managed this property. But with that being said, guys, let us know. Maybe a way to, repair something for $1,500 in this condition. If you do, drop that person's phone number down below in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.